So looking for 12 volunteers. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I want to know what you guys are questioning. Yes, Emma, what do you question?
So is a conjunction.
So is a conjunction. Wait a minute, don't change it yet. We got to talk about that one. So is a conjunction. What does a conjunction do? What is conjunction? Job of a conjunction?
It joins two equal things together.
It joins two like things. So this is a conjunction, and it is one of the fanboys, right? Is it joining two like things?
Yes.
A linking verb, and is this an action verb?
I thought it was I think you're supposed to say a verb. Action. No, it's action. Who did this one? I don't know.
Okay, action verb, is that what you have? Okay, so this I did two things. Am so proud. Are these two things joined and are they equal?
No.
I don't know about them being equal. I'm not so sure about that.
I'm proud.
So that makes me wonder if so is a conjunction in this sentence. I agree it can be. It is one of the fanboys. But is it in this sentence? What is it doing in this sentence? What is it doing in this sentence, the word so? Elsa.
Telling you how proud you are.
Yes, how proud you are. Absolutely. So it is telling about what other part of speech? Elsa.
Verb.
Nope. It's telling about this. Oh, that's right. We've got this as an action verb. Is somebody prouding?
No.
Yep.
I think being proud is an emotion.
It definitely is an emotion. Definitely.
It's a noun.
Is proud of students?
If it's a noun,
Because
can
an
you
emotion
say
is a thing.
the proud?
No.
Well, it
You
could be
can't-
like a name of a band or something.
The proud.
Yeah. How do we use proud?
Good band name.
Use proud in a sentence, a different sentence. Use the word proud in a different sentence. Keisha?
I'm proud of myself for jumping off the diving board.
Okay. I am proud of myself. Okay.
I'm proud of myself.
Now,
It's an adjective.
adjective. And why do you say
Because it's
adjective?
describing what you are.
So when you say I am proud, who are you describing?
That's what she said.
Yourself, right?
So it goes back to
So this is kind of the same sentence, really. I am proud. Proud is describing me,
That sounds like a book.
right? If it's describing a pronoun or a noun, Parker, say it again.
It's describing something.
If it's describing a noun or a pronoun,
then it's probably an adjective.
then it's probably an adjective. So proud is an adjective.
Could not be an adjective.
Now, let's go back to so. Not a conjunction in this sentence. And who said something about how this was telling about proud? Do you believe it's telling about proud?
Because you're so proud.
What other words could we put in there besides so?
Not proud.
Not proud?
Very
Very proud? What else?
horribly.
Horribly proud? So sometimes an adverb modifies an adjective. It tells the degree of the proud feeling,
You're
right?
proudly proud.
Yeah. So this is an adverb. Okay?
I am questioning
Okay.
my.
Okay. And how is it? Oh, it's as an adverb.
I
And
think
What are you thinking?
is a pronoun.
A pronoun. Is it on the pronoun page?
Yes.
And what kind of pronoun is that?
Possessive.
Possessive pronoun. Because the scientists, the student scientists belong to you.
Students, stop doing
Okay. Ah. So in this sentence, is student a noun?
that. Yes, at times.
Yes, at times. Excellent. Give me a sentence where it would be a noun.
I am a student.
Very good. And do you notice how she used an article to announce
Yeah.
the noun? A student. Okay. What do you think it is in this sentence?
An adjective.
And
This
tell me why you think that.
Because it's describing the scientists. It could say I am so proud of my scientists, but instead it says my student scientists.
That's right. I could say I'm so proud of my orthographic scientists. Couldn't I? Uh-huh. Yes. So I agree. It is an adjective in this sentence. Nicely spotted. Anything else you're looking at and questioning? Colin?
Well,
What is the word well referring to in the sentence?
you did well, son. Presented.
Right, right.
So what
And Aiden, you said it perfectly. You did well, son. You presented well. It's what you did. So it is talking about presenting, and it is definitely an adverb. Let's look over here and let's just go over this quickly before we move on. I is a pronoun. What kind of pronoun?
Subject pronoun.
Subject pronoun. Am is a linking verb. So is an adverb, and it is telling us about the adjective proud. Of is a preposition. My is a pronoun. What kind? Possessive. Student is an adjective because it's telling us more about the kind of scientists we have.
Conjunction.
Because is a conjunction.
Subject
Subject pronoun they. Presented action verb.
Adverb.
And well is an adverb. I'm looking for subject predicate identification. And which is going to be the easiest thing to identify? Subject or predicate? Predicate. Why is a predicate easier to spot? Because it's always a verb. Excellent. Now once they find a predicate, the rest of you tell me this. Where should we be looking for a subject? Like where in the sentence? Like in what position in the sentence? Remember we talked about Latin had suffixes and it didn't matter what order the word's in. You could tell what was the subject or the object by its suffix. But English isn't like that. We always tend to put things in a certain order. So where should we expect to find the subject? If you're not asking a question, typically we find the subject in front of the predicate. Do you see how that starts to help you? You're looking for it in front of the predicate. And Justin, look in front of the predicate. What's there? What's right in front of the predicate over there? And what is it labeled as? Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Yes. How come that was helpful that somebody labeled it as a subject pronoun?
Because it's a subject.
It ends up being the subject of that clause. And we need to go up to here, okay? So if our predicate is what kind of verb?
Linking verb.
Linking verb, what are we going to look for up here?
As subject complement.
Okay, we're going to ask ourselves, we're looking for a noun or an adjective that answers I am what? Proud. So there's our adjective that answers that question, our subject complement. Now we go over here and you see there's nothing after that.
Yeah.
We've looked for everything we need to.
Now we need
What kind of verb do we have?
action.
Action verb. So action verb we're going to look for direct object. Okay? So we are going to ask the same question. They presented what?
Well.
Does that answer what?
No. No.
That answers how. Right. It does not answer what.
They presented science.
You know, if we had that word, it would make more sense. We'd have a direct object, right?
But there is no direct object.
We have no direct object because we cannot answer that
You could be a
question
scientist
clearly.
and not be presenting science. You could be presenting like something else. You could
If
present.
this had said they presented their projects well,
Yeah, that.
then projects would be your direct object.
Yeah.
Who's got phrases? Come on up.
Good present.
How many of you are already thinking about the structure of this sentence? I hope so. Are you thinking about the structure?
No.
Are you thinking about which structure we can eliminate? Simple, compound, or
Yes.
complex? Which one can we eliminate?
Simple. You can easily eliminate.
Why can you eliminate simple? Ilsa?
Isn't it because there's already a conjunction?
Because there's a conjunction?
Two clauses. Yeah, conjunction. It's bracing clauses.
That has something to do with it, although a simple sentence can have a conjunction. It has two clauses. There's your big one. It has two clauses. How do we know there's two clauses?
Because of the conjunction. Because there's two predicates.
There's two predicates and two subjects. And there's going to be a set in each clause. So that's how we know this is not going to be a simple sentence, okay? Prepositional phrase of my student scientists, nicely identified. Now we get down to this. What is the one word in this sentence that's going to help us know if this is compound or complex? What's the one sentence in our one word, What's the one word in our sentence that will help us determine whether this is compound or complex? Emma?
Because of conjunction.
The word because, the conjunction because. So go to page, what is it, 32? Find out what kind of conjunction it is and what kind of sentence this will be. And see if you were right in your thinking. Before we announce it, raise your hand if you were thinking right, along the right lines. Okay? Cool. Good for you. Now, Tyler, what is the structure of the sentence?
It's a complex.
Complex. Now we have to determine.
Independent. There's a complex.
It's independent, dependent.
There's a complex in and a complex die.
Okay. Who's going to read for me aloud the first clause? Now, Tyler says it's an independent clause, which means that it should make perfect sense as a sentence all on its own.
I'm so proud of my student scientists.
Excellent. And can this be a sentence by itself? It really doesn't need the rest of it to be a sentence. Okay? And then what is the next clause? Elizabeth?
They presented well
More than that.
because they do.
Exactly. With a complex sentence, the conjunction is part of that clause. It's the compound where it's not part of the clause. But in a complex sentence, part of it.
ICCM.
So read this out loud for us.
Because they presented well.
Now, is that independent?
Yes.
Can you list that as a sentence all by itself?
No.
No. That's odd. It's because they presented well.
What do they present?
We're left hanging, aren't we? We're left hanging, and that is that dependent clause. It is.
No, it's not a clause.
And do you remember what the base of dependent is? The base of dependent is P-E-N-D, which means to hang. So we are left hanging when we use a dependent clause and don't attach it to an independent clause. Here's the thing. Do you notice that in the structure, if the dependent clause comes first, we have to have a comma? And that is because, look at it this way. I am so proud of my student scientists, and then what do we have? The conjunction. That kind of tells us where the second clause is going to begin. But if this comes first, we don't have a conjunction in the middle, so we need a comma here, so we know the difference between the first clause and the second one. Where does the dependent clause end and the independent one begin? So we use a comma when this one comes first.
It's exclamatory. I'm
All
so
right.
proud of my students because they presented well.
Very good.